Saugerties Town Board and your bicentennial liaison to all the great events that we have planned here in Saugerties. This afternoon we're out in front of the great Cotsman Reformed Church, one of our oldest churches at the town of Saugerties, and Susan Peretz and I are going to be sharing some information with you today about upcoming events for the months of May and June. And you aren't going to believe the costume, the incredible reality of looking at a colonial housewife, lady of the manor, and Susan is going to be greeting you in an original design that you'll see probably on the day of the Stonehouse tour. So Susan, would you like to tell us about the Stonehouse tour?
Hello, Leanne. I just
Hi.
came in from the 1700s, or the 1800s actually, because this is now the 200th anniversary of the town of Saugerties Incorporation. And to celebrate that anniversary, we're having this historic house tour on May 21st, which is Saturday, in 2 weeks, from 11 to 5. If it's a torrential rain, which we're hoping is not, we will have it on Sunday. But given the weather conditions for the weekend, we're hoping that we have it on Saturday. The tour is our third one. It's sponsored by the Town of Saugerties Historic Preservation Commission, and its purpose is to try to get people in Saugerties to really look at the valuable heritage that we have. The houses that date back, some of them from the early 1700s, to the current, through even actually last year we included on our house tour a place that's not a house, but it's Opus 40, because that was the use of stones, which is very integral to the commercial part of Saugerties and Saugerties' development. So we have come up with this tour 3 years ago and showed 8 different sites. Then last year was the 300th anniversary of the Palatines coming to Saugerties. Now I think probably most of you know the Palatines were from the Palatinate, which is a region in Germany and France. It's near where the borders Poland, and they came to the United States and then up to Saugerties to basically farm the area, but also they came as part of to work with the trees to produce products that could then be used by the British Navy.
Yes.
The first Palatines arrived in 1710, and they pretty much were located close to the river. And the church, probably the oldest church, was the one in St. Paul's, which was served the Palatines at the time. And then what happened is, with any kind of group coming into an area, some decided that they wanted to farm the area, and they started moving towards the view I can see right now, which is the Catskill Mountains. And so they moved further west and settled in this area next. And as a result of this settlement on Old King, which became the Old King's Highway, they established this church in 1732. And as you see, the original part is still here. It was then later enlarged and built upon, and then subsequently, we don't have a view of it from here, but they have a beautiful steeple. So as you're riding down Old King's Highway going north, you see this lovely church. There are going to be 8 buildings on the house tour, and we're sworn to a vow of secrecy. We cannot tell which houses are on it, except for one. I'll give you a bit of a sneak preview. Part of the reason that we don't tell is because we're protecting the privacy of the owners. They've agreed to open up their houses on Saturday the 21st, but they don't really want people around staring and possibly trespassing until that time. So the one house that I will tell you about is a landmark, and I don't know if it can be focused in. Are you able to focus in? This top drawing was done by a local artist, Nancy Campbell, and with her permission, we're using it for publicity. It's a drawing of the wine coop house. Many of you probably know that this structure, you probably have driven by it hundreds of times. It's on the corner, well, not exactly the corner, it's opposite the thruway on Route 32 and close to the intersection of Route 212. That house has a unique history, which you'll be able to see in terms of the building structure. You go inside, it's vacant and open inside, so that you're really able to see how the original early settlers lived at that time. The house was built in approximately 1740, and they would be wearing costumes like this and working in the house. Most of the houses started off as one small room with a little attic and a little basement. And then as the needs of the family changed, the houses were enlarged to satisfy those needs. Everything was done in that room. It was the sleeping room, the kitchen room, the gathering room. But that's just one of the houses. The rest of the houses are really quite interesting, and they were all standing in 1811, which was when the town of Saugerties was incorporated. Do you want me to continue, or do you want to talk about some of the other events on the bicentennial?
I think we're so fortunate to have the tour for the third year, and if anyone is happy, if you're going down to a county building, there's a display there for Saugerties, 200 years of Saugerties history, but it showcases the original books from the tour 1 and tour 2, I believe.
Yes.
So we're hoping that that's going to, spark the interest, and it'll get more people coming out for tour 3.
Well, let me tell people who are interested after watching this, you can get your tickets at Smith's Hardware or Hudson Valley Dessert. If you buy them now, it's $20. If you wait till Saturday, May 21st, it'll cost you $25. So my advice is to go to Smith's or Hudson Valley. Smith's, you could pick up some washers maybe, and at the Hudson Valley
plant gardening equipment, seeds.
That's right. And if you go to Hudson Valley pastries and desserts, you can get a ticket as well as getting some food. And it'll only cost you $20. The tour is from 11 to 5.
That's great. Well, hopefully that's, this is part of a busy schedule, but I think the Stonehouse Tour really kicks off for the spring events. It's really going to be a showcase event. And the Historic Preservation Commission is the town organization that basically organizes this. And there's hours and hours of research, and Miles Putnam is our map guru who designs the map, so you don't have to worry about getting lost in the woods of Saugerties, because it's a direct, usually a route that's very easy to follow. And I'm not very good at navigating, and I haven't had a problem any one of the years on the tour. So, and the book itself that you get is well worth the price of the ticket, because it's beautiful photographs. It has the history of the houses, and it really becomes a keepsake. I really think it's it's a collectible that you're going to want to hang on to and
pass it on to your children.
Pass it on, exactly. Now on May 15th, the week before, next weekend, My Name is New York is a program that's going to be offered at the library. And it's basically the music of Woody Guthrie, and it's sponsored. It's going to be like a media presentation with local musicians, and it will be at the community room at the library. And this is part of the Heritage Folk Music presentations that's part of the entire musical program throughout this year. And if you like the music of Woody Guthrie, definitely that's going to be a great event.
What time is that?
And I'm not sure of the time. I'll have to check on the website. I wasn't given a time, but just that it was going to be held at the library.
It's a lawyer who knows that he should never ask a question if he doesn't know what the answer will be.
Now on May 28th, for those history buffs locally, and for all the students, especially elementary students who want to see what a real militiaman looks like, May 28th is going to be the Ulster Militia's encampment, and that's going to be on the grounds of the Kirsted House. They are going to be moving in for the weekend, and they'll be sleeping under the stars, cooking, practicing their drills, all the regiments, so I think that's really exciting. and that's going to be the Memorial Day weekend, May 28th, and it's, again, the 3rd Ulster Militia. And that event starts for the public at 1 o'clock on the 28th. And May 29th, the next day, you might want to, while you're there for the encampment, go to the farmers market, which kicks off. Saugerties Farmers Market will be showcasing the local spring products. If the sun comes out and the plants get to grow a little bit, and we don't have one of those spring frosts. On June 11th, from 12 to 1 at the Saugerties Library, William Neiffer is going to be doing a history of the American flag. And he has an incredible collection of flags from different periods of our country's history. And he's going to be showcasing the flags along with the history of the president that was responsible for serving our country when the flag was flying over the White House. And that's again June 11th from 12 to 1. On the 19th, there's another musical program, and that's entitled Anti-Slavery Singers. And this is going to be at the Congregation of the Catskills in Kingston. And that's at 3 o'clock. The next event coming up is our picnic, and who doesn't like a picnic on the week of 4th of July? July 2nd, the Farmers Market is going to honor the farmers here in Ulster County, Saugerties Township, obviously, and there's going to be all sorts of great food and hopefully fresh strawberries at the Farmers Market, and that's going to be an all-afternoon event. Of course, July 4th, 200 years of community service, the theme of this year's 4th of July parade, and that will showcase, it steps off, I believe, at 10 o'clock for lineup. And I understand this could be a 3-division or more parade. There's lots of bands. Everybody, organizations are coming together with ideas for floats. You know, we'll have all the scout troops, you know, all of the softball girls teams, the boys teams. I mean, it's a great community event. And on July 6th, that's going to be the last day to register for participation in Old Timers Day. So any of community groups or church groups, if you'd like to get involved with Old Timers Day in August, we do have a cutoff date for registering. If you'd like to have a booth on Main Street to showcase, you know, your community's history and sell something so you can make some money to basically support maybe your church. It could be a sports group, youth group, scouts, any non-for-profit that would like to participate. You know, just call Terry Wood or call our Bicentennial Town Chairman, Marjorie Block, and she can fill you in on more details. Check out TV 23.